GYMDAD Fitness. Today I have a review for you on Juggernaut Nutrition Irate. And now Juggernaut Nutrition, this one came around in 2018 and I absolutely loved the pre they had called Wild, and then they had an Irate as well. And then they completely vanished. I think the company dissolved in like 2019. I actually looked it up and it still shows that Juggernaut Nutrition does not exist. I don't know, it could be wrong. Who knows if ChatGPT is correct? I just did some digging on there trying to search for their owner. I could not track down the owner. I could not track down if this company still exists. I mean, it looks like they dissolved as far as what I've found out. And so who the hell knows who's producing this? And I could not find a manufacturer on the bottle. I did find a batch number, or not batch number, expiration date. That's about it. So I know like one like Venom and Irate, I don't believe there was a manufacturer, there wasn't a batch number, there wasn't a lot number, nothing to identify it. And that's kind of the case with this one. So for all I know, someone just ripped off the label. And this one I'm getting on the channel because I've received such an array of feedback on if this hits, if it doesn't hit. It's just been all over the place. Just like some people say it's straight bunk, some people say this thing is extremely euphoric, and so eventually you just gotta. I always say you gotta be the research yourself and find out yourself instead of listening to what everyone else is saying and so I just went ahead and acquired a tub. Purchased this one brand spanking new. Did not buy the secondhand used or anything like that. So this is whatever fresh-ish batch. I don't know. There's no batch numbers on it, so I can't tell you that. But actually, this is the second time recording this one because I ran another pre today, and I'm like, I think I need to adjust my review because I started getting my head a little bit during the review, and I almost think I know I'm kind of giving away here, but I think I almost oversold the damn thing because let's get into the label breakdown, then I'll go into why I think that and what my experience was. So label right off the bat. NO complex 5 grams, citrulline malate 5 grams, yohimbine HCl 2.5 right there. It doesn't even foot. The accountant in me, that really bugs me. The fact they show the full complex is 5 grams, but it adds up to 5,000 and 2.5 grams. Beta alanine and creatine HCl, 4 gram blend here at 2.5 and 1.5. At least that one totals. And this next one doesn't total either. Caffeine citrate 150. It's a fast acting. Caffeine anhydrous 225. That's the mid-range caffeine, the normal standard caffeine you'd find like a Bang energy drink. And then 2-amino 4-methylhexane, which AA, I'm not going to say the word, but the taboo ingredients that is supposedly not around anymore. And I want to say the word is that's the 2-amino 4-methylhexane. I believe that's the one that they say that Dark Labs use for theirs actually. Who knows though? I don't know. All I know is that it hit really well. You might hear my kids in the background. They're downstairs. They're now too. And then anyway, so experience time for this one. Take the product, the betas kick in within 15 minutes or so. They're pretty intense. Also, side note, I went ahead and ran this one at a mass heaping scoop right away because from the feedback I'd received, that's what they said it hits at, is it needs to be pushed a little bit. And so that's what happened to Dystopia. Dystopia kind of got written off, and then I found out if you push that thing a little bit, that thing takes off. And I pushed this thing, and it started getting the beta alanine tingles, and then nothing, straight flat. And I would say it was like that for about 40 minutes. I was yawning. I was tired. Like if anything, I was coming into the workout with more energy than when I took the damn product. And then a little bit of euphoria kicked in within the 45 to 50 minute range, and it was a pretty solid workout. And I kind of wrote it up to just the day because I trained Sunday evening and I never do that. And so I ran it again on Monday when I went back to back with it. And I'm like, let's just see how this thing goes, because I felt like I ran a daily driver. No crash afterward whatsoever. And it almost felt like how you would feel if you ran a pump product only and no stims, the post-workout effects. And so I ran it again, an exact same damn thing. Beta alanine really, really intense the first 15, 20 minutes. And then just nothing for about the 25, the 35, 40 minute mark. And then some euphoria kicks in within the 45, 50. Just ever so slightly, no 1-3 feel, just kind of like a slight happiness buzz, nothing crazy. And I think I kind of gave it when I did my first review, I was like, yeah, I think there's something brewing in here. It's one, if you push, it could work, but I don't know, man. I think I overshot it. To me, this is a big disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. This thing is just, I never said it was good in my original review. I gave the same breakdown, but I just felt like I was even a little too passive on my experience and not being firm with it. And to me, this thing doesn't hit. And this is a perfect example of the pre-workout industry right here, and why you can't just kind of judge hold someone's words for granted, as truth. My friend that ran this one, he is an alpha dog stim junkie. It's not like it was some sort of early entry guy to the stim junkie field that is just now taking pre-workouts and everything makes him fly. Like this guy that told me this one hit for him, he drinks Smash for breakfast, man. Like he can handle 13 to 14 grams with ease, and he's a big unit. He's a big dude. And he's the one that it hit really, really nicely for. Said it was so damn euphoric. He was getting in his feels, stuff like that. And so I pulled the trigger on it. I was like, yeah, I take your word for it, because I've had times where things are hit really well and really euphoric for me, and for him, it's just kind of like, it's pretty smooth. It's kind of cute, a little pre. It's kind of like sometimes what happens. And so I pulled the trigger, and nothing for me, absolutely nothing. And that just goes to show, man, like it's just, it's not the person, it's not the whatever, who the person behind the pre taking it. It's not like I don't even think it's a situation where it's like he responds to something, I don't respond to something. It's just, you never know between these batches, these flavors, where they come from, sometimes how things hit and don't hit. And to be honest, I kind of I said, I brought this up, and then I'm like, I kind of started getting in my head, like maybe I'm just fried, and maybe I just need to start questioning yourself a little bit. The same thing happened to me when I ran Terminator pre-workout. I started second guessing myself after the review, and then I ran something the next day, improved. I'm going to show you what I ran today and why I'm re-reviewing this. So I ran this today. Stay tuned for this one. Really nice pre, good solid pre for a low caffeine level. And there's only 200 grams of caffeine plus 50 grams caffeine malate, so very, very low caffeine. And I got more energy from this one. So it kind of pissed me off even more at the Juggernaut, because now I know I'm not fried. It made me feel a little bit better about myself. So if anything, I guess the only positive this was it's like I took a non-stim pre-workout for 2 straight days. I got 0 caffeine energy from this, just ever so slightly euphoria. I think there is some sort of 2 amino something in this thing, but I think they completely swung and missed on the caffeine content in here. If anything, I was thinking there was going to be a bunch of caffeine malate, because I did get some form of energy around the 45 to 50 minute mark. But even the scorecard, this is the main reason why I reviewed this. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10 on euphoria, and I can't do that. This thing didn't, it barely provided anything. I mean, this one compared to this is night and day, and this is a 200 milligram caffeine pre-workout with a Rye and Sick pump formula. And I got to give this thing a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, just ever so slightly. A slight euphoric boost came in toward the end. Pumps, 5 out of 10. Raw energy, 2 out of 10. Tunnel vision focus, maybe 6 out of 10 too, because something came in there at the 50-minute mark. Sense of urgency, 1 out of 10. Literally the worst. I've never had one, be so sleepy and so lethargic early on. And then taste, 10 out of 10 full red bars. This thing was so damn tasty. If you are into taking a pre-workout that has 0 effects and it is not going to give you a good workout whatsoever, I still had a great workout because I dug deep mentally. You got to look at it in the positive way. It's okay, this thing's not hitting, let's not cry about it. Let's use this as an opportunity to dig deep and find out and prove to ourselves we can still hit a hell of a workout even with a no stim product. Because essentially for me, I treated this as a non-stim take, because literally I felt like maybe 200 milligrams of caffeine at the very most. And yeah, it was straight pixie dust, man. So if this is a pre that you want to take just for if you're a really big fan of pixie sticks and you just really care about the flavor and the taste and that's all you're in it for, you could roll the dice and maybe this will hit and maybe you'll be extremely euphoric. Or maybe you'll get straight pixie dust like this tub right here that just tastes delicious and tastes like candy, but it's going to provide you no workout benefit whatsoever. Which, if that's your in-game goal, this one right here, this would be one I would give to I'll probably end up tossing this thing away. This isn't even worth giving out sample deals, to be honest. So I'm pretty disappointed. It sucks, but it's the game we play. You swing and you miss sometimes. Sometimes you hit home runs like these sticky label pre's over here, and sometimes like Terminator. Sometimes like this one. Sometimes try to think of another one that was kind of swing and a miss. Sharp ER, not Sharp AMF. Sharp AMF, very freaking good. Sharp ER was a straight trash. To be honest though, like it had a little bit, it was a little bit better than these two, but this one in Terminator. But anyway, that's what I got for you on this one. You know, I wanted to get this out earlier in the week, but you know, after running in a daily driver style pre, I had to recircle back on this one and give it the correct scoring that it really deserves, because you know it was a disappointment. Let's be honest. But that being said, there's some good tubs out there. I know there is. I know my friend would not do me dirty like that, and I trust his judgment, and he is a freaking alpha dog stim junkie. So it's just a good example of the risk you take sometimes in pulling the trigger on these pre's. You know, not everything can be consistent, and that's why we do. That's why these reviews are valuable, because you know you want to, when in a day and age where money is tight, and you know you're trying to find the best product, and you're trying to find the most surefire thing. I don't know if many people are going to want to roll the dice on something like this. Now, if you find this thing in a clearance bin, if you can find it on, at a hell of a deal, a steal, a buy one get one free, it might be worth a gamble. But do not, I guess the Cosmic Candy is a flavor I had, so maybe try a different flavor too. But that's what I got to say on this one. I'm sorry they can't all be hitters, but I got to be straight with you guys. Like, subscribe, and catch me on the next review.